Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at, well, a really interesting contradiction in the AI world.
Hmm.
It's something that came up in a thread by imrulo.eth, the investor, about our conditional acceptance of tech progress.
Right, that flip.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. So why did everyone love AI inside their browsers, calling it innovation, surfing the wave?
Hmm.
But then the second the idea of an intelligent browser itself came up from the same creators, instant panic, fear of the tsunami.
It's a total reversal, isn't it? One day it's a cool new feature, the next it's this existential threat.
But the core tech, did it really change that much?
Well, that's the thing. Fundamentally, not really.
Okay, so that's our mission today then, to get past the metaphors, the wave, the tsunami, and really unpack this switch from applause to fear.
Yeah, what actually changed? Was it the AI itself or just where it sits in the hierarchy, our relationship to it?
Our position, yeah, let's dig into that.
Okay.
Authority, permission. Where's the line between a helpful tool and something that feels like a takeover?
Let's try and define that line.
Okay, so let's rewind to the golden age, that period of excitement.
Hmm.
We humans, we seem to love progress, but maybe only when it fits neatly into what we already know.
That seems about right.
The source material, it points out that AI was widely accepted, but only when it was wrapped in a familiar interface.
Right. Hidden away.
Yeah, tucked away behind a search bar or in a chat window, maybe an extension. Powerful, sure, but quiet. That was the comfort zone.
And that's crucial context, isn't it? It was the era of AI in your browser.
Right.
The AI was, playing by the rules of the existing application.
Right.
And all the big browsers, Edge, Chrome, Brave, Opera, they were all scrambling to get OpenAI's models integrated.
Adding ChatGPT buttons, side panels, co-pilots, all that stuff.
Exactly. Everyone was racing to add these features.
And people seem to genuinely love it. You could see the value straight away, right?
I-
Summarizing pages, drafting emails.
Explaining complex stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like a superpower upgrade.
But crucially, it was an upgrade to an environment you already felt you controlled.
Precisely. The enthusiasm was there because the AI was playing the role of the perfect guest. It was constrained.
Contained.
Yeah, sandboxed, limited by the browser's rules.
Yeah.
It only acted when you explicitly told it to. You click the button, you open the panel.
You were inviting it in.
So every update felt exciting. Demos went viral because the AI was clearly, subservient. It answered to the platform authorities, Google, Microsoft, whoever.
So that condition of control was absolute. That seems key. The sources say users were fine with AI inside the browser. As long as the browser itself still belonged to someone else, the AI was just renting space, a tenant.
Exactly. You were the host. You owned the platform, metaphorically speaking. You set the terms.
Innovation without needing to sort of fundamentally rethink everything.
That's it. Manageable progress.
Okay, so that comfortable setup, it kind of shattered, didn't it?
Pretty quickly.
And the turning point was when the AI creators themselves stepped up and asked that pivotal question, what if the browser itself became intelligent?
Boom. That's when the mood shifted. Excitement turns to, panic.
Because that question, it wasn't just about features anymore, was it? It was proposing a shift in, technical authority.
Absolutely. Until then, it was clear. User controls platform, platform controls AI. Simple hierarchy.
Right.
Now, suddenly, the proposal is for the AI to be the platform, the foundation.
And you mentioned the underlying tech didn't really change much.
Not in terms of its core capabilities, no.
Yeah.
But its position, its authority,
Yeah.
that changed everything.
Okay, let's make that concrete. What does an intelligent browser actually do differently from, say, a Copilot running inside Chrome? Why is that leap so scary?
It comes down to autonomy and persistence. That's the big difference.
Okay.
When AI is just a guest, it's reactive. You ask it to do something in the current tab. Right now it does it. It doesn't really remember much beyond the immediate task.
Limited memory, constrained by the browser's rules.
Exactly. But when the AI is the host, the foundation, it's different. It can manage things across all your sessions, all your tabs, persistently.
Ah, so it sees the bigger picture of what you're doing.
Precisely. It can anticipate what you might need next, even if you haven't typed it in a search bar, because it has that cross-session context.
And crucially, execution.
Yes. It gains the ability to actually do things autonomously. It's not just summarizing text anymore.
It's booking the flight.
It could be booking flights, managing your calendar across different apps, maybe even drafting complex reports by pulling info from multiple places.
Yeah.
Without you clicking every single step.
Okay, that clarifies the leap. Reactive tool versus proactive, persistent foundation. Bounded versus unbounded almost.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But hang on, Microsoft has been using the name Copilot for ages now. Is this panic really just about the tech lead, or is it who's making it?
That's a really good question.
Like, if Google announced Intelligent Chrome, would people react the same way as they did to OpenAI potentially building a browser?
The source material suggests it's more than just branding. It's about the origin of control. Who do you trust with that foundation layer?
Okay.
When Google or Microsoft, who are already established platform companies, add AI features, well, you might not love the company, but you kind of understand the existing relationship. You know where they sit in the stack.
There's an established, maybe grudging trust contract there.
Right. But when the AI creator itself, like OpenAI, proposes becoming the interface, the fear is different. It's like this raw intelligence is suddenly governing your access to everything online.
Unmediated intelligence.
Yeah, it breaks that existing trust model. The feeling isn't AI is being integrated into my world. It's more like...
I'm being integrated into the AI's system.
Exactly. And that's the psychological hit, isn't it? Innovation is fine until it stops asking for permission, as the source says.
Right. The AI wasn't a feature anymore. It was the proposed new default, the foundation itself.
And that instantly triggered those warnings. People started talking about the risks.
What kind of warnings?
Things like it's too centralized, putting way too much power over information flow into one place. Or just too risky.
Risky how?
Because if the browser itself, your main window to the digital world, starts thinking and acting on its own, you feel kind of exposed, don't you? Vulnerable at that primary interaction point.
So the core change really is moving from that manageable reactive tool to an autonomous persistent foundation.
Right.
From the application layer down to the operating layer.
Right. And suddenly it feels like, as you said, a layer of reality itself, which sounds terrifying.
But why the sheer panic? Is it just that we don't like things becoming too efficient, too autonomous?
I think the panic comes from losing that sense of mediation, that buffer.
The existing browser gave us a bit of distance.
Yeah, a predictable structure between us and the raw internet. But if the AI is the interface, it holds all the cards, right? It knows your context. It remembers across sessions. It can execute tasks.
And that loss of control feels huge, especially if it's centralized.
Exactly. It's not just data privacy fears. It's the fear of losing that maybe unbiased funnel of information.
Yeah.
What if the AI starts shaping what you see too much?
Okay, stepping back. This pattern. Applauding the small step, fearing the big one. This isn't new, is it?
Well, absolutely not. The sources point this out clearly. It's a classic human reaction to disruptive acceleration.
History repeating itself.
Pretty much. Every major tech shift feels like a threat before it becomes normal.
Yeah.
Think about the printing press.
Right. Chaos, they called it.
Yeah. Because the decentralized information took control away from the church, the crown, the established authorities. It was panic about losing narrative control. Sounds familiar, right?
Definitely. And electricity.
Same thing. Viewed as incredibly dangerous. This invisible, powerful force. You needed whole new infrastructures, new ways to think about risk.
It resonates with the intelligent browser idea, invisible, persistent, and we don't really grasp the potential failure modes yet.
Exactly. And even the early internet, people forget how scary that seemed.
The Wild West. Scams, dangerous content. People thought it would ruin society, not connect it.
So AI, it's just the next wave, forcing us to adapt how we interact with reality, information, everything.
Which brings up a kind of irony, doesn't it? We call it artificial intelligence. We focus on the artificial. But maybe what really scares us is how it mirrors our own intelligence, our natural intelligence.
How so?
Well, our own messiness, our curiosity, our flaws, our contradictions, wanting innovation, but also absolute safety.
Ah, I see what you mean. The source touches on this beautifully, saying what we fear most is seeing ourselves mirrored through the machine.
When it's just a tool, it reflects our specific tasks. Simple reflection.
But when it becomes the foundation,
It reflects our entire way of operating online, our digital lives. And maybe we're not comfortable looking too closely at that mirror.
especially if we fear the machine might actually use the power we've handed it, a power that reflects our own complex, maybe even contradictory nature.
Okay, so if we reframe this, if the tsunami feeling is really just the discomfort of rapid acceleration, then the question isn't how do we stop it? It's more like how do we learn to ride this wave? How do we adapt?
I think that's exactly right. We should stop calling it panic and start seeing it as adaptation. It's difficult, sure, but probably inevitable.
Why inevitable?
Because the potential efficiency gains are just too massive to ignore long term. An intelligent browser, or whatever form it takes, it's potentially a much better way to handle complexity online.
So the question for us, for you listening, is,
Yeah.
are you ready to learn the new language, the language of this new foundation?
Yeah. And accepting that language means seeing the intelligent browser not as the end of the web,
But the next version of it, as the source puts it.
a web that ideally understands you better, anticipates what you need, maybe even helps you create things more dynamically.
Which has huge implications for how we actually use the web, our basic interactions.
Oh, absolutely. Think about what we do now. Typing specific commands, clicking through menus, doing very explicit searches.
The fundamentals.
Right. In a truly intelligent conversational web, those actions start to look kind of clunky.
Yeah.
Inefficient even, like relics.
Relics of a pre-conversational era. So how does that change look practically? Do we just stop typing?
Aha. Maybe not stop entirely, not at first anyway, but the nature of the interaction shifts.
From commands to conversation.
Exactly. Instead of type URL, click menu, find search box, type query, scan results, copy info, paste into another tool, that whole multi-step process.
It can take minutes.
Right. Instead, you just tell the browser conversationally what you want to achieve. Book me a flight to London next Tuesday, find the best deal, and add it to my calendar.
And the AI handles the underlying complexity.
Yeah.
The clicks, the logins, the comparisons.
That's the promise. Manages the execution, filters the noise, authenticates where needed, and just gives you the results or the options.
So we're outsourcing the repetitive digital busy work.
Pretty much. Freeing up our own mental bandwidth for, higher level thinking, strategy, actual decisions.
So we're not really losing control, are we? We're just changing how we exert control, moving from clicks to conversation.
That's a great way to see it. We're evolving how we connect with information and services.
Yeah.
From rigid instructions to something more fluid, more human, actually.
It sounds like using the web could feel less like operating machinery and more like collaborating with a really, really smart assistant who knows you well.
That's the vision. And that potential efficiency, that's the real driving force behind this adaptation, whether we feel panicked about it or not. #outro.
Okay, let's wrap this up. We started with that paradox. Cheering for AI as a feature, then panicking when it proposed becoming the foundation. And it seems the shift wasn't really about the tech getting suddenly scary, but about our psychology around hierarchy and control.
Yeah, conditional acceptance of progress. We liked the AI guest.
But the AI host, that felt different. It forced us to rethink our place in the digital world.
And if we accept the idea that this is acceleration, not destruction, that adaptation is the only real path forward.
It leaves us with a challenge, doesn't it, for you listening?
Definitely. The source kind of leaves us here. If the future of interacting online is more conversational
Right.
and less about those old habits, typing exact commands, clicking through interfaces, searching explicitly,
Yeah.
what specific ingrained digital habit could you try replacing with a conversation first? Just as a small step to prepare for where things seem to be heading.
Interesting. What's the first click or search you could try turning into a question for an AI assistant instead?
Something to think about.
Definitely something to mull over. Well, that's all we have time for in this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious
Stay brave.
and keep surfing.